Welcome to VHS Voyage, where we're on a journey to find, watch, and discuss movies on VHS we've never seen or never knew existed. I'm Matt.
I'm Devin.
Today's episode, we're going to talk about
The Borrowers.
But before we get to talking about The Borrowers and the movie itself, hit us with some facts and information.
This stars John Goodman, Jim Broadbent, Mark Williams, Celia Emery, Hugh Laurie, and Tom Felton.
Yeah.
Lots of Harry Potter actors in there.
Lots of Harry Potter actors. I noticed that.
This is based off of a book series, and this is not the only adaptation. There's actually quite a bit. The only really interesting fact I can find is when John Goodman loses his mustache, he was also supposed to lose his eyebrows, but he refused because he had to go film Roseanne. And he didn't want to to have to put prosthetic eyebrows on or something, so he refused to have his eyebrows shaved off.
The Borrowers is a movie about a group of people. Well, I mean, they're people, but they're not really people. I guess they're not considered human beings, but they look just like humans, except they're tiny, like really tiny. They call themselves the Borrowers, and basically they live in walls and floors of homes. And they survive by borrowing things that they need from the house to be able to live, like just mainly small objects like keys and pins and, different things like that they can fashion into tools and furniture and clothing and anything they need to be able to live, basically. One thing I thought was funny is they say, well, no, we're not stealing it. We're just borrowing it. No, you're stealing it. You're stealing this stuff. You're not borrowing it. You're not giving it back. To borrow something means you're going to give it back. They don't give the stuff back. They just keep it and use it. So they're not borrowers. They're stealers. Yeah. So.
And they're all gingers, which is close to my heart because I come from a family of gingers on one side.
You're right. They are all dude, I'm just now realizing that.
So that I was like, that hit me right here. I didn't get the gene.
Yeah.
Except in the beard some places, but I was like, those are my people right there.
What is the plot of this movie, right? So essentially you've got this family, they're living in this house, and there's also a family of borrowers that lives in the house. The main family that owns the house have no idea that these tiny little people exist. So they try to stay hidden, they try to stay out of sight so that they don't have a chance of being squished. John Goodman's character plays a lawyer. He is our villain in the movie. And basically the home that the family is living in, it's their aunt's house, and their aunt has passed away, and they know that she's going to be leaving them the house in their will. But the aunt's lawyer, played by John Goodman, and his name is Oshius Potter, he basically tells them when they go to do the will stuff, he tells them that the will's lost, it can't be found, and for some reason, therefore, he now owns the house. And he is going to demolish it and build some luxury apartments so that he can make a ton of money. The boy in the family, the big people family, he knows something's going on in the house. He knows something's going on because stuff keeps going missing. Well, the daughter of the borrowers family, she, I guess, is bored one night and she decides to go into the boy's room and watch TV up on his shelf or whatever. And she makes a noise and he ends up seeing her and capturing her. This is one thing I felt like his reaction wasn't great.
This kid was not a good actor either.
No, he wasn't.
A lot of his reactions in the movie, I thought that's not how you would react at all in that situation.
Yeah. So his reaction, you're right. He wasn't a very good actor, was he?
No. Yeah. I thought the same thing. Like when he captures this, he's like, "How are you?
Yeah.
What are you doing?"
Exactly.
Yeah. I was like, okay, that's not how I'd react to that. You just found a little tiny person in your home.
Wow.
Go on. Go ahead, Bean. Get it over with.
This is incredible. You can talk.
So he finds out about the borrowers, and she in turn finds out that the house is going to be demolished in a few days. And so therefore her and her family are going to have to leave the house or they're going to get demolished along with the house. But it goes horribly wrong in the moving van, and the son and the daughter of the borrowers family ends up falling out of the moving van. This is about the time where our villain, the lawyer or Potter, shows up at the house, and you find out he doesn't actually have the will, but he knows it's in the house somewhere hidden in the walls because the aunt told him that before she passed away, because he basically manipulated her. So he's knocking on the wall with hammers trying to listen for, I guess, hollowed out parts where there could be the will, and he ends up finding it, and he's using what is that thing called? Stethoscope, right? Stethoscope. He's using that. He also hears the kids while but at first he's like, he just kind of brushes it off, right? So he finds the will, and the kids see this happening, and of course he's monologuing to himself about his evil plan and everything. And so they find out that they now have a goal. They need to get this will from him, and they need to get it back to the family so that they can get the house back before it's demolished.
Yeah.
And he calls an exterminator. And the exterminator comes in there and fills the wall up with this poisonous foam.
I like how the exterminator knows about borrowers.
Yeah,
though,
he
because
knows
he's
about
such
it,
that makes me think that like in this universe, they're almost like a cryptid.
Yeah.
Like people talk about them. Exactly. They're on their Reddit page. So I swear I saw one in my house today.
Exactly.
And then Boner God 69's like, no, you didn't, dumbass.
You've seen this before?
No. But I heard the stories. And that's what I thought they were, just stories. The fly with a human head.
Poker-playing rats. The giant radioactive cockroaches.
There's this long sequence of John Goodman and this exterminator trying to catch them as the borrowers are like moving through the walls, trying to escape and like hanging on the light bulbs and all this stuff. And they end up escaping. What do you want to get into?
Man, I wanted the little son borrower to die so bad because he's Draco Malfoy, and I don't want Draco Malfoy living.
Why did I not connect that?
Because you're Matt.
One thing that it definitely impressed me about this movie, and dude, they had to have spent some money on this movie because I mean everything looked really good.
It does look good, yeah. And the 90s had an obsession with this kind of movie about little people living in a big world.
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Indian in the Cupboard, Small Soldier, Toy Story. You could throw in there too.
Yeah, and this, they did a good job with this visually. Like everything looked really good. Like them at the beginning of the movie where they're like navigating around the kitchen and running across the counters and like going into the fridge and in the freezer and eating ice cream.
Yeah.
And that leads me to the next thing that I really liked was the props.
Yes.
The tiny things that were made big.
Yeah.
When you're seeing things from the borrower's perspective.
Yeah, that looked really sweet. I actually kind of like when they leave the house and go out into the real world. They're having to sneak through the real world.
Yeah.
That sled they ride down that tunnel.
Where do you want to go?
John Goodman's character, even though he was the villain, he was probably the best part of the movie, actually.
Yeah.
Because he's just such a good actor that he really made this villain actually villainous.
He plays a good villain too. So yeah, John Goodman's character, I like the Exterminator.
Oh yeah, the Exterminator.
Yeah, because he went from kind of being bad to being good.
Right, Mr. Weasley in Harry Potter.
Yeah, you're right. That was Mr. Weasley.
Yep. And the main dad borrower is Professor Slughorn.
Yeah.
I have another question. How'd that little elf guy, the elf borrower, how did he escape and not die?
Dude, I have no idea.
John Goodman throws him in like a pit of boiling cheese where it's like, this guy's for sure gonna die.
Yeah.
And then he just appears later in the movie and they're like, you're alive.
Yeah.
Good luck with the face, fatso.
So at the end of the movie, right, John Goodman's character, he gets in a final confrontation with the main borrower family, and then he gets attacked by an army of borrowers.
Yeah.
And when the dad of the main borrower family meets them, they have this weird handshake they do, dude, where one of them sticks their hand out like this and the other one goes, I'm not making this shit up,
you better believe I am taking that thing you just did and I'm putting it in every video, bro.
Dude.
Just funny!
Young Spiller said you was in trouble. Wait!
I gotta say, this movie surprised me. It actually pleasantly surprised me. I found myself enjoying it, being entertained all throughout the movie. So I like this movie.
I like it. Yeah, it looks cool, but I just think the movies that also did this and that during that time, there's better ones.
Oh yeah, all the shrunk movies
Indian in the Cupboard is better.
Yeah,
Small Soldiers, that's a little different though.
Yeah,
but it's still a small perspective movie you're viewing the world through.
And of course, Toy Story. The Toy Story is still different, but
yeah. Here's the thing though. Sometimes I would like a movie, but I wouldn't watch this again.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be like, you know what? I want to watch The Borrowers.
I actually might watch this movie again soon with my wife because she's never seen it. I feel like she would enjoy this, so I'll probably watch it again pretty soon. But in HD this time, son, widescreen, 1080p.
You're so weird. God.
That is it for tonight's episode of VHS Voyage on The Borrowers. I'm Matt.
I'm Devin.
We'll catch you guys next week.